Welcome back to Knackflix. Are you ready to dive into the shadows, face your fears, and explore the chilling worlds of some truly unforgettable horror films? Today we're talking about 10 spine-tingling movies that have left audiences screaming and critics raving. From supernatural frights to psychological horrors, these films are a must-watch for any horror fan. So grab your popcorn, dim the lights, and let's jump right into it. Number 10. The Pope's Exorcist. Directed by Julius Avery. Starring Russell Crowe as Father Gabriel Amorth. This 2023 film blends supernatural horror with a touch of action. The plot follows Amorth as he investigates a young boy's possession, uncovering a conspiracy within the Vatican itself. Rotten Tomatoes rates it at 48%, while IMDb gives it a 6.1. It's campy, creepy, and a whole lot of fun if you're in the mood for some over-the-top exorcism antics. Number 9. Silent Night. Directed by Camille Griffin. This darkly comedic apocalypse film follows a group of friends gathering for one final Christmas dinner as an environmental catastrophe looms. Tensions rise as secrets are revealed, and the end of the world becomes terrifyingly real. It has a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.7 on IMDb. While it's not as highly rated as others on this list, it's an intriguing mix of humor and horror that's worth a watch. Just don't expect your typical holiday cheer. Number 8. The Wailing. Directed by Hong-jin. This 2016 supernatural thriller is an epic tale of possession, shamanism, and paranoia. The plot follows a small-town policeman investigating a series of mysterious deaths that seem to be connected to a stranger who recently arrived in the village. With a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.4 on IMDb, it's one of the most critically acclaimed films on our list. But fair warning, it's a slow burn, so be prepared for a deeply unsettling journey. Number 7. Follows. Directed by David Robert Mitchell. This 2014 indie horror reimagines the idea of a curse with a slow, creeping dread that's impossible to shake. The story centers on Jay, a young woman who becomes the target of a mysterious entity after a strange sexual encounter. The creature can take any form, and it's always walking right towards you. Rotten Tomatoes rates it at 95%, and IMDb gives it a solid 6.8. It's stylish, smart, and downright unsettling. If you haven't seen it yet, what are you waiting for? Number 6. 30 Days of Night. Directed by David Slade. This 2007 cult classic pits a small Alaskan town against a horde of vampires during a month-long polar night. As the sun disappears for 30 days, the townspeople must fight to survive against bloodthirsty predators who thrive in the darkness. With a 51% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.6 on IMDb, it's not for everyone, but if you're into brutal, high-octane horror, this one's for you. Plus those vampires. Absolutely terrifying. Number 5. Under the Shadow. Directed by Babak Anvari. This 2016 film combines political unrest with supernatural terror, telling the story of Slade, a mother and aspiring doctor, who finds her apartment building haunted by a malevolent djinn. As bombs fall outside, the horrors inside her home become increasingly terrifying. Rotten Tomatoes gives it an impressive 99%, while IMDb rates it 6.9. The film's subtle scares and atmospheric tension will have you checking under your bed for weeks. Number 4. Gerald's Game. Directed by Flanagan. Based on Stephen King's novel, this psychological thriller is about a woman named Jessie who becomes handcuffed to a bed after her husband's sudden death during a romantic getaway. Left alone, Jessie must confront both her inner demons and a mysterious intruder. With a 91% score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.5 on IMDb, it's a masterclass in tension and character-driven horror. Carla Gugino delivers a career-best performance that's both chilling and empowering. Number 3. The Ritual. Directed by David Bruckner. This 2017 film follows a group of friends who reunite for a hiking trip in honor of their deceased friend, only to become prey to a Norse deity deep in the Scandinavian wilderness. As they grapple with guilt, grief, and their own survival, the forest itself seems to come alive with terror. It's got a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.3 on IMDb, but let me tell you, the creature design alone is worth the watch. If you've ever thought camping was scary, this movie will confirm all your fears. Number 2. The Babadook. Directed by Jennifer Kent. This film redefines psychological horror, telling the story of a widowed mother, Amelia, and her troubled son, Samuel, who are haunted by a sinister presence after finding a mysterious pop-up book. The story is as much about grief and motherhood as it is about the horrifying creature itself. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a near-perfect 98%, and IMDb rates it a respectable 6.8. The Babadook isn't just scary. It's emotionally devastating and endlessly thought-provoking. Oh, and that creepy pop-up book? Nightmares for days. Number 1. His House, directed by Remi Weekes. This 2020 gem isn't just another haunted house story. It's a deeply layered exploration of trauma, guilt, and the immigrant experience. The plot follows a Sudanese refugee couple who escape their war-torn country, only to face a malevolent spirit lurking in their new home in England. With a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a solid 6.4 on IMDb, this film masterfully balances scares with social commentary. If you're looking for a horror movie with heart and brains, His House is a must-watch. And that's our list of 10 must-watch horror films. Whether you're into psychological terror, supernatural thrills, or bloody mayhem, there's something here for everyone. So, which of these movies have you seen?